Hi guys, welcome back to this other video on a PI cognitive assessment test with corrections. As usual, 50 questions that you have to answer in 12 minutes. So in this video, I'm basically taking one question from a test that some random guy just posted on his channel. He just posted the test that he took, and then what I usually do is take that test, extract all the questions from there, answer them, and then present the logic that I'm using behind each question. So without wasting much time, this is the first part. This is a part one because in total there are 50 questions. I'm going to make them into two separate videos for where each video is going to take 25 questions. I have previous videos on already two PI cognitive test assessments, so that's like 100 questions if you combine both sessions. So there is you can always check on this channel, Interplug. We have a playlist. You go to the playlist section, you're going to find all the videos that I've made in this PI cognitive assessment. That's going to help you prepare well for your test and make sure that you score a very high, you get a high score for your job. I guess you're taking the test for a job position, and hopefully we're crossing fingers for you so that you can get the job. Okay, without wasting much time, let's get into the deal. As usual, I always have my accuracy that I define at the beginning, which is 90%. Let me just get the pointer. Okay, which is 90% here, just to say nobody is perfect. So definitely the 10% goes for um, some mistakes. And I'm always glad because you guys, whenever you watch the videos and you find some mistakes, you always put them in the comment section, and I really like that. So if you see any mistakes, just let us know in the comment section so that we can correct that, or other people who are watching the video can check your comment and then be sure that they're not the ones tripping on a particular question. Okay, let's get started. Question one, which number has the lowest value? So we have these values here. As I always say, I love converting my numbers into decimal numbers. Then I can easily compare them. So I start by converting 1/3 to a decimal number to two decimal places. That's 0.33, 0.33 using the French system. Okay. Then we have 0.28 and 1/4 is of course 0.25. So it's none other but 0.25, which is 1/4. So our answer here is D. We move to the next one. So here we have a pattern. We have a rectangle. Afterwards, we have a line bisecting it here. Then we get another line here. So if you have to get the next member to complete the family, it's definitely across from this other direction, right? So that's no other answer but C, right? So we have the first cross, second cross, and the third one. That gives us C. Third questions, these are really nice questions where they give you a series of assumptions and then you have to read the assumptions and then check whether the conclusion is correct, incorrect, or we don't have enough information to conclude um, on what's being said or what is being presented in the situation here. So here we have two assumptions. The first is some team leads in the engineering department work on the 10th floor and the remainder work on the 9th floor. Employees from various departments work on the 10th floor. Our conclusion is some employees in the engineering department work on the same floor as employees from other departments. That's definitely true because we know that team leads in the engineering department work on the 10th floor and the rest of them work on the 9th. And then in the second statement, we say some other employees also work on the 10th floor, right? It means that we have employees in the engineering department who are working on the 10th floor together with other employees. Okay, so that's very, very correct. The answer is A. Question 4. We have a sequence. What is the next number in the sequence? We have 4, 7, 11, 16, and 22. Then you can easily identify that if you take 4 and you add 3 to 4, you get 7. If you add 4 to 7, you get 11. You add 5, you get 16. You add 6, you get 22. So you need to add 7 to get the next number, which is 29, right? You can see it from my sequence down here. So you're basically adding 3, you add 4, then you add 5, you add 6. There, of course, when you add 7 now, you get 29. The answer is B. Next question, we have this transformation kind of question where they said this is to this as this is to which other one. So you just need to identify the what changes from one figure to the other. We have here 1, 2, 3, 4 little dark dots that become 3, right? And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 big let's say big figures in which we have the small dots. Well, we have 5 big figures here on this side, and then here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 5 here, we have 6 here. We can easily identify that the little dots, the number of little dark spots reduced by 1, and the number of the bigger structure increases by 1, right? So if we apply the logic here, we see that here we have 3 dots, 3 dark spots. So we would expect to have only 2 in the on the transformation. So that's either B or C, right? Oh, okay. Not B, sorry. It's either C or D, right? Then now we check the outer structure. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So we should expect 7. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the answer is C. Okay. So yeah, that's how you go about that question. Question 6. This is an English question. I really like them because they are quick. You don't waste time. It's either you know or you don't know, right? So this is severity is to leniency as cruelty is to, of course, compassion, right? If something is not severe, if something is severe, it's not severe, it's lenient. Then cruelty, of course, that's going to be compassion, right? So the answer is A. We go to question 7, where we have again a transformation question. We have a, I don't want to say square, let's just say rectangle because we are not sure it has equal sides. We have a rectangle that transform into a parallelepiped. Yeah, that's called a parallelepiped, something like that. Or you can also, if it was, you can also call it a cube, but a cube always has equal sides from all directions. Let's just call it a cube here just to make things easy. So we have a square changing into a cube. So then this circle would definitely have to change into a cylinder. Well, all of them are cylinders. Now, the next thing to check is the direction in which the cylinder is being, I'll use the word extruded, right? So it's extruded in this direction, and we don't need to search far and see that the answer is B, right? B is also extruded in the same direction as the initial transformation that was presented to us. So the answer is B. We then go to the next question, question 8. These are mathematics questions that I like. So here we say a customer telephone center receives 1,200 calls in 24-hour period. Of these calls, 75% occur between 9 and 9:30 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. Okay, and calls are evenly distributed during this time. If each person handles 10 calls an hour, how many people are needed to handle calls during these hours? Okay, so we said the customer telephone center receives 1,200 calls, right, on a 24-hour period, but only 75% of them are between this 9:30 and 3 p.m. So that's the first information we take. So we need to get the number of calls that are taken between 9:30 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. Total calls to be handled, that's 75% of 1,200 calls, so that gives us 900 calls. Then we want to also know the number of hours between 9:30 and 3:30 p.m., right? That's 6 hours, okay? Then we are going to use our proportions, right? We know in 1 hour, 10 calls can be taken by one person. We got that from here. If each person handles 10 calls an hour, we want to know how many people we are going to need to handle 900 calls in 6 hours. Okay, so we say in 1 hour, 10 calls are handled by one person. In 6 hours, of course, 60 calls are handled by one person. Then in the same 6 hours, how many people are we going to need to handle 900 calls, right? We're just going to divide the 900 calls by the number of calls one person can take, right? And that's 900 divided by 60. That gives us 15 persons. So we need 15 persons who are going to make 900 calls in 6 hours, as presented here. Okay. Okay, we move on. Question 9. Which of the following is the opposite of the word dormant? Yeah, if something is not dormant, if something is not dormant, then it's very, very active, right? Like active volcanoes, dormant volcanoes, and stuff like that. Active period, dormant periods. Okay, we move on to the next. Question 10. You need workers to finish a large project, right? On a list of 30 possible workers, 9 are not available. You need only one third of the remaining workers for the project. How many workers do you actually need? Right? So one third of the remaining of 30 minus 9. So we take 9 who cannot work um, of the total number of workers possible, but then we need only one third of it, right? So that's like one third of 30 minus 9. 30 minus 9 is 21, and one third of 21 is 7. So the answer is A. We move on. Here we have again these nice questions on assumptions and conclusions. So we have three assumptions here. Employees do not need to go through the purchasing department to order office supplies and furniture. Electronic equipment must be ordered through the purchasing department. Only orders going through the purchasing department require signed approval before they can be placed. So the conclusion here is signed approval must be obtained for ordering desk. We know that desk is actually furniture. And the first statement says employees do not need to go through the purchasing department to get furniture, right? And for you to get um, a signed approval, you need, like the third statement says, you need a sign approval only if it's going through the purchasing department. So we don't actually always need um, signed approval to put for ordering of desk, and desk is part of furniture, right? So the answer is incorrect. It's C. Right? I mean, all the infos we have here is enough to say it's not true. The sign approval must not be obtained for ordering this. But mind you, if it was said sign approval, no, let me not stretch the question. Let's just move on. Question 12. Question 12, we still have this kind of, we have these patterns where you need to find the last member that completes the family, right? So you have to observe how each element changes its position from one set to the other, right? So we are going to start by observing the white, the white straw figures, yeah. So we see that from this image to this one, this moves to one, it moves like it goes one step up, and when we go here, we see it goes another step up, right? We look at the triangle, it's in the middle here. It skips directly. When we go here, it's here, and then definitely here it's here, right? So if we are to expect this one in the next structure, we know that this one is just going by one step up, right? It's going to be here, the trapezium is going to go here, and then this one, since it's in the middle here, it's going to be on this line, right? It's going to stand on this line. If we consider that it was in the hole here, it went to this line, from here it went to the middle, then it should stand on that line, right? So we leave actually from here, we skip a space here and we stand on the line. So that's why it's going to skip the space here and stand on the line. Um, if I do that, that gives me either A, it gives me A directly, and that's the answer. We might just check the dark ones just to confirm our theory, right? We see that this dark triangle goes from the line to the middle here. From the middle goes to the line, so we should expect it to be in the middle here when we go to the next structure. Yeah, so it's there. Looking at this one, it goes, wow, it skips how many boxes? It goes like one, two, three. it goes from here, skips this to here, to be here. So it's going to skip this one to be here, as we can see it here. So it's going to skip this and be completely out here. You see it completely out there. So the answer is A. You don't really need to go through all of them. I think two, when you see two have the same, if two of them can really lead you to something, and then you check out that the others don't have that, it's enough. You have only 12 minutes to answer 50 questions. So there's really not much time to sit there and observe things for long. And equally, one thing you should know is the more you practice, the more you are going to be fast, because most of these questions repeat themselves. I have been doing this thing for, anyways, I'm going to give a final conclusion at the end just to hint you guys, so watch till the end. Okay, we go to the next question, 13. English question again. Which of the following is the opposite of the word severe? Of course, if you're taking the test in your language, you also get this in your language. So you could be taking it in Portuguese, in French, in Spanish, or whatever. There are so many languages that you have to choose at the beginning of the test. So choose wisely. For now, I'm saying it's an English question, but it's going to be your language question. But the other questions are still going to be the same, like the maths questions and the rest. So which of the following is the opposite of the word severe? If something ends severe, it is gentle, right? Okay, we move on. Question 14. What is the next number in the sequence below? We have 59, 38, 21, 17, and 4. You can easily, well, you cannot easily do that, identify it, but the more you take this test, as I was saying earlier, these are patterns that once you look at the question, you easily see, you can easily identify what's going on, right? So we have 59 minus 38 gives 21. If we do 38 minus 21, it gives 17. If we do 21 minus 17, it gives 4. So if you need the next one, we need to take 17 minus 4, and it gives 13. And the answer is C. Okay, we move on. In this one again, we need to identify one of the figures that's not part of the whole thing. Like there's these two figures are together, these are together. You need to check which ones are out of the system, well, are not part of the family, right? In this case. And this is why I'm saying you really need to practice a lot, because some of these questions you just see them, you don't even need to read the question, you don't need to go like the two figures are both share common features, because you're already used to practicing them, that once you see this you already know what they want, and you're focusing on looking for the solution rather than still trying to read the question. So guys, really take your time and practice. I'm still going to give you a final conclusion. So we can easily identify that this is out of scope, right? Because we have only two figures here, two figures here, two figures, two figures, two figures, and this is the only thing that has three figures, so completely out. So the answer is B. Question 16. Jelly is to jar as money is to. This question always comes. I have done 3 different tests and it always comes. And before that, I think it's even 4. I've seen it like 4 times already. So it's a question that always comes. So we have jelly is to jar as money is to vault. Yeah. So which number has the lowest value? As I said, no, I didn't say anything. We have 1/7. We need to actually do the operations here, the different fraction operations. You have 1/7. When you do 1/4 minus 1/8, it gives you 1/8. 1/3 minus 1/4 is 1/12, and a half minus 1/8 is 3/8. You can easily identify that this one has the biggest denominator, so it's the smallest number. So the answer is C. We move on. Question 18, we have another transformation question. We leave from this structure to this one, and then what is this going to transform into? Okay, we try to check patterns. We see this, okay, this stays, okay. We have the white box here stays, the black box up stays, and the 2 white boxes down move up. So we can say that everything stays except any black boxes that are down that are going to move up, right? So if we apply that logic here, this, and this are going to stay, even the black there, up there are going to stay. When we already have that in mind, we know possibilities are either A or C. Then now we go to the theory of every black spot down goes up. So if this goes up, the only answer down is A, because we cannot afford to have a black spot down. So the answer is A. We move on. Assumptions, conclusions. Okay, many people who live in area 2 drive to work and some walk to work. All people who live in the area 1 either take the bus to work or drive to work. No one in area 1 walks to work. Statement 2 says it all. Everybody, like all the people who live in area 1, they either take a bus or they work to work or they drive. So none of them walks actually to work. So the answer is correct. It's true. Question 20. Oh, I love the speed. We are really going fast on this. First time I'm making a video and I'm this fast. That's nice. We have these two figures, and then we have to identify the one which is not part of the family, right? As I said, I don't even need to read the question because once I see it, I already know what they want. So you can easily see that this figure, you can actually, you have like a line of symmetry. You can cut it in the middle and have two equal parts that you can superpose. Like here also, if you cut it here, you have two the same parts that are mirror. Same here, you can cut it there. You can also have this one like a cut like that. You can cut this one here, and it's only this one that has no symmetry, no mirror line. Okay, so the answer is D. D is out of the family. Question 21. This is some mathematics question. So they say you are driving from your house to your office. Currently it is 7:10 a.m. You are 12 miles from your office. If you traveled at an average speed of 30 miles per hour, at what time should you arrive at work or at office? At your office. At what time are you arriving at your office? So we need to first get the time that you're going to need to get to office, right? If you're driving at 30 miles, so if you need to drive for 12 miles at the speed of 30 miles per hour, okay? So the the time, we know that the time is the distance divided by the speed. That's some physics question, but it's also very logic, right? If you check it, you're like, oh, if in 1 hour I do 30 miles, if I do 30 miles in 1 hour, how long is it going to take me to do 12 miles? If you apply the same logic or the same mindset like this, you're also going to get this that you need to divide all the number of miles you need to cover by the number of miles you occupy per hour, right? So that gives you 12 and 30 hours. But then I need to convert this. I need to convert this into minutes. So that's 12. I multiply by 60 to convert hours into minutes. I multiply by 60, so that's going to simplify the expression, which gives me 24 minutes. And when I add 24 minutes to 7:10 a.m., I get 7:34. So the answer is A. Good one. Question 22. Question 22, we have a pattern. We need to look for the last member who completes the family here. So we look at the white ball or the white egg, or any way you want to call it. We see that from this figure to this one, it goes like it lays from this position to this position, and it's here. From this to this, it goes down. So it's kind of going in a clockwise direction, right? In a circle direction like that, but in a clockwise circular thing. So we will expect the white one to be here. That leaves us with either C or D, right? Then we check the black one. The black one goes in the other direction like that, like that. So from here to there, we see it here, and here we see it here. So definitely it should be here. And the answer, so it's here. So the answer is C. Okay, we move on. Question 23. Which of the following is the opposite of the word mediate? So yeah, you can get someone to mediate, to negotiate. So actually negotiate is a synonym. um I would have said interfere as well, but interfere also goes in the sense of mediating, right? You're interfering to make sure that everything is looking okay. So interfere kind of goes into the same sense as mediate. Ignore means okay, you don't even care. You just do your thing. You don't give a fuck about oh, sorry for the curse word. You don't care about what's going on, so you don't want to intervene. You don't want to have anything to do with what's going on. Then provoke. Then this is the opposite, right? You're actually spilling. You actually want more fire than it was already. So the opposite is A. Question 24, what is the next number in the sequence below? We have 3, 2, 6, 4, 9, and 6. For me, this we can see that these are actually two sequences that are intertwined, right? We have like 3, 6, 9. Like you add 3 to 3, you have 6, you add 3 to 6, you have 9, you add 3 to 9, and you're going to get the next one, which is 12. And you can see I actually put them out here. So we have one sequence which is 3, 6, 9, 12, and then the other sequence is 2, 4, 6. The next should be 8, but since we don't need that, what we need is that one. So the answer is A. Okay, we move on. Which number has the lowest value? So I always like to manipulate numbers as decimals than manipulating them as fractions. So I have 0.1 plus half. That's 0. Half is 0.5, so that's 0.60. 0.30 plus 1 fifth. 1 fifth is 0.2. That gives us 0.50 as well. 50. This was 60. 1 quarter plus 0.2, 0.25 plus 0.2, 0.45, and then the last one, 1/3 is 0.33, 0.33, oh my god, plus 0.10, plus 0.1, not 0.10, please, excuse me. I shouldn't be calling decimals like a German or French person. So that's 0.43. The answer is 0.43. It's the smallest value here. And that brings us to the end of this first part. As I said, there is a second part. You should have a link somewhere, either here or there, that will send you to the second part of the remaining 25 questions. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. As I said, I'm going to repeat it again. When you receive that link from your HR proposing this job offer to you, take your time. If they've given you a certain number of days to prepare before taking the test, or they've given you like a deadline for the test to be taken, if it's 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, take your time. Go online, search more content like the videos on this channel. I already have 3 fully answered questions with all the logic that you need to answer each of these questions. Watch them, do them, apply your own logic, practice, practice, and practice. That's the only way you're going to be very fast at this test. As I said, it's 50 questions and you get only 12 minutes to answer all of them. And they would send you also a link where you have like a pre-test, with 20 questions that you're going to do in 4 minutes. When you try that already, you can already feel the pressure. The pressure is not easy. So that's why you really need to practice, 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 practice. And then the more you're going to practice during the test itself, you won't even have time to read the question, because once you see a question, you already know what they want. And then you will just go straight to answering the questions. There are generally 4 or 5 different types of questions. There are the language questions, you have the pattern questions, you have the mathematics questions, and then you have assumptions, conclusion questions, and you have numbers. You have numbers, sequences, fractions, where you have to look for the lowest and stuff like that. So make sure that you practice and practice. And as well, when you're going to watch this video, check the other videos that are on this channel with corrections. You would see that a lot of the questions are actually repeating themselves. Most of the questions, they are like, if you do only these 3 videos, like you actually master the 3 of them, you can already be sure that you're going to get at least 30 or 35. You already have 35 questions that you know with the answers. Like you just need to actually identify which letter it is, because of course they're going to kind of mix it up. They won't always be A, it's not always going to be B. In some questions it might be C or D. So you just need to, and what I really like is, or let's say what's really nice is the numbers. Most of the time the numbers don't change. Like the questions have exactly the same numbers. You don't need to maybe recalculate. You just need to know that the answer was this, and then you're just ticking and going on. That's how I did. I think I scored maybe 40, 40, 45 or something more. They will not tell you, the HR didn't tell me my score, but I'm very much sure that I scored very high on it, because I also prepared very well. I prepared for till the deadline. I prepared and took the test like just the day before the link was getting expired, because that's part of the process. The HR wants to know if you're someone who takes time to research stuff, or you're just someone who um, just wants to do things because, yeah, there's a you want to be fast. So that's also, it's actually part of the job process. You need to check it out. You have to make sure that you do some research. Do some research. That's the basic things, and that's how the job also is. Now I'm getting into personal stuff, but at work as well, there's so many things that they would want you to do that you actually cannot do them. Where you just need to do a bit of research for 1 day or 2 days, and then you're up. It's not all about the things that you've already acquired. It's more about what you're willing to acquire, and you're going to learn and search and acquire them. Okay, I need to stop this video now, guys. Have a nice time. Check the next videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share as well. And guys, have a nice time. Bye.